Let me try a little different setup here. See if it makes a difference. So I'm doing this like early in the morning, and well, not early in the morning, but I just woke up and everybody else is still asleep. Uh, so I haven't, like, my brain hasn't started really going wild for the day. It's still kind of like all, so maybe I can just focus on this one thing, and this will be a lot better. Because I'm more relaxed, if that makes sense. I'm also on my porch swing. That's why I'm like, and like I can see the water and stuff in my backyard. So, um, yeah, trying a different vibe. We'll see how it goes. So far, it's feeling a lot better. So, anyways, I want to introduce you to Jupiter today. So he was called Jupiter in Rome, and the Greeks called him Zeus. Now, here's the thing about Rome. The gods and goddesses and things that were like part of Rome kind of pieced those together from other cultures, right? So if we're talking about before, well, okay, nowadays is a perfect example, right? Because you have like Saint Bridget or Brigid, or however you want to pronounce her name, is actually Brigid, the Celtic goddess of like art and creating, crafting. But when the Roman Catholic Empire took over Ireland, they took the gods and goddesses that were in Ireland and venerated them as saints. I think that's the correct terminology. I'm not Catholic. Please feel free to correct me so I know. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. Like, I just don't remember the term. So the same thing happened in the pre-Christian era of Rome as well. They took like the Greek gods and goddesses and Romanized them. There's another term. So that's why there are so many, when you say, like, when you're talking about Greek mythology and Roman mythology, there's so much overlap, and people are like, oh, well, that's the Roman name, but that's the Greek name, because they're basically the same thing, because Greece and Rome were like so close together. So there's not a whole lot of information on Jupiter as a god. Well, I mean, there's enough, right? But there's so much more on Zeus, because that's like where he originated. He originated as Zeus. As far as like Western culture, Thor is also the Norse version of Jupiter slash Zeus. He was. We're gonna focus on Zeus, just to keep it simple, right? So when I say Zeus, you know that's Jupiter. I hang at my notebook situated here. But he was the god of the sky, like the earth sky, thunder, lightning, those kinds of things. Zeus threw lightning bolts, right? And if you've watched any of the Avengers movies, you'll know that Thor, like, yeah, he was the Lord of Thunder, God of Thunder, but he really got powerful when he learned how to harness that lightning. That's when he was dangerous, right? That's when he turned into even more of a badass with his sparkly blue eyes, throwing thunderbolts around at people. So Jupiter was like the chief god of Rome, and this is going to make a lot of sense after I explain a little bit more about it. But the Romans really liked Jupiter because he was a god of, some people say in astrology that like Jupiter is money or luck, but it's not. That's a really watered down, like, that's kind of some things that happen because of Jupiter's energy, but it's expansion and growth. So what did the Roman army like to do? They expanded their territory. They grew their empire. So that's why they like Jupiter. But Zeus, he was the youngest of his siblings, and here's the thing, his dad was gonna eat him and his siblings because of a prophecy or something that said that one of his children was gonna like kill him and overthrow him and take over and all this other stuff. Like, there's always that going on in mythology, right? Somebody is gonna be overthrown by this person, so they set out to kill him, and then that kind of ends up like making the prophecy come true. It's no different with this. So his siblings were eaten by his dad, but Zeus's mom just couldn't stand the thought of like all this going on. So she tricked Zeus's dad and fed him a stone instead of Zeus. And then she took Zeus to a cave and hid him there, where he was raised by nymphs, and he was fed like goat milk and honey. And so that's our first clue, right, to Jupiter's power in astrology. Milk and honey are things that nourish us, that make us stronger. Milk because babies need it, right? But honey is like it's something special. It's almost like a privilege. It gives you that little bit of extra like self-love. So it's not just you're getting what you need to survive on like a basic level with the milk. You're also getting some honey with it, which is making it more special. It's giving you like a special type of energy. Man, I hope that makes sense. I think you guys understand what I'm talking about, though. This is my milk and honey right here. Okay, so he was raised by the nymphs who fed him milk and honey. And they didn't want his dad to be able to find him, so they hung his cradle from a tree. That way, his cradle was not in heaven, nor earth, nor in the sea. So his dad couldn't find him, because it was like literally just hanging from this tree. But because it wasn't touching the land, it wasn't touching the water, and it wasn't in the sky, he was hidden. That's cool, right? Well, after he grew up, he did end up fighting his dad, and because we'll talk about his dad later. But his dad was very powerful, so Zeus he needed a little bit of help, right? He enlisted the help of these spirits and the Cyclops, and they helped him defeat his dad. And then he made his dad vomit up his siblings. Remember, his dad ate all his kids when they were babies, except for Zeus. Well, he made his dad vomit them back up. And he told his siblings, like, hey, you know, I'm ruling the world now. Like, Zeus was the king of the gods. Will you help me take care of this world? So he took apart, this sibling took apart, this sibling took a part of the world, this sibling took a part of the world, and they reigned together, right? Another thing about Zeus, which, like, we can't ignore this, he was a little promiscuous, right? He had a lot of women. He liked those mortal women. He had a lot of kids. Hercules, right? So, yeah. But, like, that was his thing. He started from nothing. He was hiding in a cave, and then he expanded to be king of the gods. And if you look at, like, the planet Jupiter, it's the biggest planet in our solar system. Now, I don't know if the ancients could tell it was the biggest planet or not, because Venus looks pretty big in the sky. Mars can look really big in the sky. So I don't know if they knew that Jupiter was the biggest planet when they named Jupiter Jupiter. And this, when I say ancients, I don't just mean like the Greeks and Romans. I mean like all the way back to when written history first started, and before that. Like they didn't call this planet Jupiter, but they had a name for it, and it was the same type of energy. So Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. It can very comfortably contain like all the other planets in the solar system. So when you think about like King of the Gods and like I'm holding the kingdom, you know, I've got all these people, I'm holding them, they're under my care, they're under my protection, that type of thing. Jupiter, the planet, has got that. It spins really, really fast. Like it rotates so fast. One day on Jupiter is only 10 Earth hours. So that's crazy. Earth spins once every 24 hours. If you cut that in half and then take like another 20% off, that's how fast Jupiter spins. And Jupiter is way, way, way bigger. So it's, I was gonna say it's ballin', but it's a planet and it's round. So it's, anyways. Mandy jokes. Too early. Thanks. Just like Zeus had all of this energy, all of this momentum, like he set his mind to doing something and he was going to do it. Like we are going to war, we are going to free everybody, and it's going to be awesome. The magnetosphere of Jupiter, like its magnetic force field or whatever, is also huge. It's the second largest in the solar system. So things are drawn to it, like just like Zeus, like you're just drawn to him. He's the king of the gods, right? So what does all that have to do with us? Well, in astrology, Jupiter represents our capacity for growth, to push ourselves, to expand our whatever it is, to see how far we can go, whether it's like physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Like, push yourself. How far can you reach? What can you achieve? What can you do? Like, it's your capacity to reach for more, to do more, to see more, to feel more, to be more. Zeus did that by getting help from others, right? He helped others, and then others helped him. Now, this wasn't like a, hey, you help me, I'll help you kind of thing, quid pro quo. That's not what it was. It was like, these people genuinely need help, and then they genuinely wanted to help him because he helped them. It can be in a not so great, when you have not so great intentions with it, you can use that magnetosphere of influence to draw people in and say, you know, you did this, hey, I did this for you, remember when I did that back in the day, now I really want you to do this. And it's something that they really don't want to do, but you're gonna influence them to do it anyways. You can do that, but that's, you know, that's on you. So whatever, if you want to live your life like that and be an asshole. In the best way of looking at it, think about like, okay, I'm gonna use like a psychiatrist's office, right? let's say it's not even just a regular psychiatrist's office, it's like a place where people go when they're dealing with like some kind of trauma, right? And the main psychiatrist, that's Zeus, Jupiter, whatever. And people come here for help, and the psychiatrist helps these people realize their potential, realize what they can do, and then by doing that, the psychiatrist realizes their own potential. Like, hey, look at all of this awesomeness that I can create and send out into the world. I can genuinely help these people, and that gives you a feeling of like, man, like if you've ever just helped anybody with any kind of self-development, whether it's training at work or just helping them through a personal problem, once they realize like what they can do, that is such an awesome feeling. And it's not just helping other people, it's about like say you work out and you've got a goal you want to meet, and you get up every morning, you put in the work, you eat your milk and honey, and you hang from that tree, and you go at it and you meet your goal, and it's just like, one of my goals right now is to be able to sit here comfortably in front of this camera and make a video. So I've been working, I've been putting all the little pieces in place and really pushing myself to just freaking do it. Okay, now we've all gotten to this point with our workouts or our video making skills, or helping other people at work learn a new skill or task. What else can we do, right? How far can we push it? That's what Jupiter is. That's Jupiter's energy. That's Jupiter's magic. It's like limitless. It's like, think about the possibilities. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope all that made sense. Let me know your thoughts. I love your comments. I love it when people comment and I can interact. I love talking about astrology with people. I'll see you in the next video.